Hey, boys and girls, this book is called Martina, the Beautiful Cockroach. This book is in English and in Spanish. I'm going to read the book in English, but if you can read it in Spanish, that is amazing. Martina, the Beautiful Cockroach, retold by Berta De Llano, illustrated by Jamie Rivera Contreras. Doña Julia was a well-known landlady in old San Juan. The apartments she owned were in a beautiful magnolia tree. From their little bean cans, all of Doña Julia's renters enjoyed the sweet smell of magnolia blossoms, the cool sea breeze, and the sound of salsa music from the cafe next door. Martina was the prettiest cucaracha in the magnolia tree and in all of old San Juan. Her long wings glimmered in the sunshine, and her curly antennae were a perfect match for her beautiful eyes. Martina had the sweetest personality too, and for this reason, she was Doña Julia's favorite. In fact, Doña Julia thought of Martina as her own daughter. Doña Julia llevaba a Martina a todos. Oh, I'm reading in Spanish. Doña Julia took Martina everywhere. Together, they shared the most delicious dishes: fried rice with beans, mashed plantains with pork, and plantain lasagna were their favorites. Without a doubt, Doña Julia knew the best places to eat. As time passed, Doña Julia imagined that Martina would want to start a family. Such a pretty cockroach would probably be very happy with a partner, she hinted. Martina nodded. Yes, yes. Doña Julia loved weddings. She loved the food, the music, and of course, the gifts. So, Doña Julia decided to give Martina the best gift of all, a perfect wedding. But first, Martina would need a suitable groom. On Saturday mornings, everyone in Old San Juan went to the market. This is the perfect place to drop a few hints that Martina is looking for a husband, thought Doña Julia. Among the boxes and baskets of mangoes, eggplants, and cucumbers, every creature eavesdrops on Doña Julia's juicy gossip, and the news spreads all over the neighborhood. That same day, the parade of suitors began. With bows on her antenna and dressed in her prettiest outfit, Martina waited to meet her future husband. How will I know who to choose? Martina worried. The tummy knows the answer, Doña Julia advised her, and with a wink, she brought out a temleque, a coconut pudding. She had made it for Martina to share with her visitors, and she had added a secret ingredient. I wonder what the secret ingredient is. The first to arrive was Señor Colibri, the hummingbird. Good afternoon, Señorita. Whir. You are such a beautiful cockroach. Together, we would make an impressive couple. Will you marry me? Whir. Thank you, Señor Colibri. Would you like some temleque? Martina smiled. As fast as lightning, he zipped past Martina and stuck his little beak into the pudding. Whir. Yuck! He spat out angrily. This is horrible, temleque! And now I have stained my beautiful feathers. You know what? I'm wasting my time here. Whir. Adios! Zigzagging, Señor Colibri flew away as fast as his little wings could carry him. As soon as Senor Calibre left, Martina looked down and saw Senor Tortuga, the sea turtle. He crawled up very slowly to the magnolia tree and, slower still, lifted his head. Good afternoon, Senorita. Her. You are such a beautiful little cockroach. Together, we would make an impressive couple. Will you marry me? Her. Thank you, Senor Tortuga. Would you like some tembleque? Martina smiled. Senor Tortuga loved sweets, but he was too heavy to climb the magnolia tree, so Martina dropped a piece down to him. Senor Tortuga stuck out his long neck and caught the tembleque in his mouth with surprising speed. Her. Yuck! He sputtered. Disgusting! This can't be tembleque. Why did I come? You know what? I'm wasting my time here. Adios! And with a flip of his flippers, Senor Tortuga turned around and very slowly crawled back into the sea. Then Martina was startled by the arrival of Senor Lagartija, the green tree lizard. Good afternoon, Senorita. Slurp, slurp, slurp. You are such a beautiful little cockroach. Will you marry me? Slurp, slurp, slurp. Thank you, Senor Lagartija. Would you like some tembleque? Senor Lagartija adored desserts, and without waiting, he flicked his long tongue over Martina's antenna, grabbed a huge piece, and swallowed the tembleque in just one gulp. Slurp, slurp. Yuck! Senor Lagartija yelled. He swung his long tongue back and forth, trying to get rid of the taste. This awful tembleque is stuck in my tongue. What were you thinking serving it to me? You know what? I'm wasting my time. Here, slurp, 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 adios! And with his long tongue hanging out, Senor Lagartija sped away. What's wrong, Martina? Asked Doña Julia. I don't want to marry any of them. Senor Colibre is too proud. Senor Tortuga can't climb our magnolia tree, and Senor Lagartija's tongue is too long and sticky. And they were all so rude about your delicious pudding, Martina sobbed. Dona Julia needed to tell Martina that her pudding was not actually delicious. The special ingredient she had added was salt. It was a test. Only someone who truly loved Martina would eat salty tembleque. Ah, my poor little cockroach, Doña Julia consoled Martina. You shouldn't worry. The tummy knows the answer. But before Doña Julia could explain, a little mouse appeared, peeking out from under a leaf. He looked at Martina and smiled shyly. Good afternoon, Senorita. I came for your company and some of your delicious tembleque. May I stay? He asked, bowing. Martina didn't know what to say to such a polite mouse, so she let him eat all the tembleque. And when he had finished, he thanked her kindly and hurried down the tree. And at that moment, Martina forgot why she was sad and angry. She forgot all about the other suitors. The following day, the little mouse came back. Good afternoon, Senorita. May I have more of your delicious tembleque? He asked while bowing. I'm sorry, there isn't any more tembleque. Did you really like it? Martina was curious, very curious. It was a little salty, but what I really liked was being with you, Senorita. Martina gave Doña Julia a knowing look, guessing the trick she had played. I'm Perez. It's a pleasure to meet you, the mouse said as he bowed again. Day after day, Perez came to visit Martina, and often they sat in the cool sea breeze, and sometimes they danced to salsa music. from the cafe, but mostly they ate tembleque, sweet, not salty. Soon, Perez asked Martina an important question. Martina, he whispered. Yes, Perez? Martina smiled anxiously. You are such a beautiful little cockroach, Perez blushed. Will you marry me? Their wedding was the biggest event of Old San Juan. Martina was a beautiful bride. Doña Julia had given Martina her pearl comb, her lace veil, and her silk fan. And instead of a wedding cake, there was an enormous and very delicious tembleque. Everyone talked about the wedding for many years to come. And today, people still remember Martina Perez, Doña Julia, and the magnificent magnolia tree. This book is called Martina, the Beautiful Cockroach. I hope you enjoyed it.